The cunning woman had barely stepped on a cat by accident when she began screaming like a madwoman. Her vulgar reaction made the man start to suspect that she might not be who she claimed to be. 3 years earlier, a cat had gotten stuck in a tree, and a girl dressed in white, without regard for her safety, had climbed up and rescued it. Her sweetness and kindness had deeply moved him. But just at that moment, he received an urgent phone call, and when he turned around, she had already disappeared. He was told she was the daughter of the richest man in the country. After her mother's death, she had lived abroad for many years. That's why he believed the cunning woman was the only heiress of that family. A month after returning to the country, the real daughter began looking for a bodyguard, and the man, wanting to get close to the cunning woman, disguised himself as one and went to the interview. However, it was the real daughter who fell in love with him at first sight and used every means possible to win him over. But he never paid her any attention. She thought he was just cold by nature, until one day she saw him gently caressing a photo of the cunning woman, even kissing it tenderly. Then she overheard him talking to a friend and discovered the truth. The man was not just a bodyguard, but the heir to the richest family, and he had only disguised himself to get close to the cunning woman. Upon learning this, the girl was heartbroken. She couldn't understand how an illegitimate daughter had managed to win over a man of such high status. One day, she arranged for him to accompany her to an auction, but found him distracted, staring at a photo of the cunning woman. When she asked him to go, he said he was on a break, but the moment he heard the other woman would be attending, he agreed immediately. At the auction, she only wanted to buy things for her future wedding, but the cunning woman competed with her over everything. When the girl ran out of money, the man called his assistant and ordered all the items in the place to be bought for the cunning woman, leaving nothing for her. Furious, the girl left and went to a bar to vent her anger, but the cunning woman followed her, and she had no choice but to let her tag along. As soon as they arrived, some men began to harass her. The man stayed beside the cunning woman without moving, until the girl screamed his name. Only then did he react and rush to her aid. She angrily confronted him and asked what kind of bodyguard he was, but before she could finish speaking, a drone spun out of control and flew toward them. The man didn't hesitate. He pushed the girl aside and ran to protect the cunning woman. The girl ended up with an injured arm from the drone. Back home, she took a whip to punish the bodyguard, but the cunning woman intervened and stood in front of him to protect him. When she got hurt in the process, the man was visibly worried. Without saying a word, the cunning woman left. They thought everything would end there, but the man, seeking revenge, ordered some men to drug the girl and take her to an abandoned warehouse where she was mistreated. She didn't know who was behind it, until she heard one of the captors on the phone and realized the man had orchestrated the whole thing. Rage and pain caused her to faint. When she woke up, she was alone in the hospital. As she walked past the cunning woman's room, she saw the man tenderly giving her medicine. At that moment, she realized how deep and cruel his love for the other woman was. She decided to give up on him completely and treat him only as a servant. Soon it was the cunning woman's birthday, the last party the girl would attend with the man. When asked about her ideal man, the cunning woman said she wanted someone who would kiss her name onto his chest and retrieve a rose from a cliff. Before she could even finish speaking, the man had already prepared a mountain of gifts. Everyone envied her, but he said none of it was enough, because what she asked for had no price. The cunning woman was delighted and went to brag to the girl. When she found out the girl would be marrying a fiancé in a coma, she began mocking her cruelly. Before leaving, she pretended in front of everyone that the girl had mistreated her, and everyone believed it was out of jealousy. The girl ignored them and slapped her, then grabbed a glass and smashed it in frustration. It was the only way she could let out her pain. Pushing past everyone, she walked away alone, but suddenly the man stopped her